What's your definition of a whistleblower?
To me, I think a whistleblower is different to a conspiracy theorist. I think a whistleblower is someone that has got facts. They have got information. You know, they
boots on the ground right there.
They are the person that have seen this stuff firsthand, not, a mate of mine or, you know, whatever, someone I used to work with or anything. Like, a whistleblower is someone that I was there, this happened, and here's something to back it up.
Yeah, and have been told not to say anything or else.
They took an oath. They took an oath to uphold the Constitution of the United States, and dadgummit, they're doing it. And we owe them a debt of gratitude.
I have experienced advanced UAP firsthand, and I'm here to voice the concerns of more than 30 commercial aircrew and military veterans who have confided their similar encounters with me. Today, I would like to highlight 3 critical issues that demand our action. As we convene here, UAP are in our airspace, but they are grossly underreported. These sightings are not rare or isolated, they are routine. Military aircrew and commercial pilots, trained observers whose lives depend on accurate identification, are frequently witnessing these phenomena. The stigma attached to UAP is real and powerful and challenges national security. It silences commercial pilots who fear professional repercussions, discourages witnesses, and is only compounded by recent government claims questioning the credibility of eyewitness testimony.
Welcome back to What Life Throws at Us, and that is a bombshell. Like, that's huge. And Davo, the main man, the whistleblower, I've just got this feeling like he's just got to watch his back, man.
Yes. Whistleblowers.
He's just, someone's going to make him a mushroom risotto and it's not going to end well.
What's your definition of a whistleblower?
To me, I think a whistleblower is different to a conspiracy theorist. I think a whistleblower is someone that has got facts. They have got information. You know, they
boots on the ground right there.
They are the person that have seen this stuff firsthand, not, a mate of mine or, you know, whatever, someone I used to work with or anything. Like, a whistleblower is someone that I was there, this happened, and here's something to back it up.
Yeah,
you know?
And have been told not to say anything or else.
Yes, that's right. And that's why Davo's got to watch out for the or else.
That's right, man. And so this is the, I guess,
drone strike.
This is a big thing happening in America.
It's huge,
because these are, important people, Marines, ex-Marines, and I guess the whistleblower is now a thing because, and it's going to Congress and all this shit in the courts and blah, 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 coming out and saying this important information that you've been told not to in court, recorded, blah, 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 is
televised.
Probably a lot more safer because now you got the spotlight on you. You're not just saying it to some stupid little podcast studio, blah, 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 and then someone knocking you off before it gets really popular. You know what I mean? This is like eyes on, millions of people watching.
Well, everyone was all over Lee Harvey Oswald.
Lee Harvey Oswald.
That was him, the guy, the shooter of JFK.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then he had the media. He was surrounded by people. The spotlight was on him. What happened there?
Okay, yeah, that's a good point. All right. And what's his name? Harvey Weinstein, who hung himself in a cell apparently, and the cameras weren't working at the time.
Mysterious.
Okay, so
It
good point.
Yeah,
but this is huge. Going to Congress and anyway.
Actually, having a government officially taking
backing
on this information.
Yeah.
Wait, because this information's out there, right? I'm just going to assume if you're watching this, you are aware.
Well, no, people may not be aware of this. I don't know.
Then
I don't know
lay it
if
down before I come out with my own conspiracy theory about this.
Okay, cool. So
because you've got something to say.
There is, I believe now, 3 ex-Marines in the last month or so have come out and been whistleblowers.
Are they part of the Me Too movement?
That's a different episode.
Oh, that's a different one, yeah.
doing, the general whistleblower thing, and they are coming out and telling their stories that they've had while being in the army or the US and situations that they've been put in and told never to speak of again. And it's really interesting. And they're going through this whole scenario, going through Congress and the courts and making it official, I guess you could say. Is it making it official, getting
I believe so.
This sort of
putting
area?
in the public forum.
Yeah.
They're definitely making it official.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I think that a military and a government has a right not to tell us everything.
Right. And that's...
because there's some stuff that we don't need to know about, let's face it. There's some things that we live a nice, happy life. We don't need to know 100% of everything.
Yeah. So,
however, where it comes to what they tell us and what they don't tell us, how do they govern that?
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and then it starts getting murky and tricky.
But it might not even be the government that are holding this sort of stuff back. So it could be just another company with millions of dollars who are creating technology or holding something back that, they're not telling the government about, right? And this is some of the stuff that these Marines have witnessed and have been told to keep their mouth shut. And so I think the safe thing that they think is safe, I guess, is going to Congress and telling their story. And the government are like, oh, shit, let's maybe protect this guy because let's find out who the fuck's running this. And
true.
Anyway, so
True. And the government's not one entity, is it?
Well, that's right, yeah. There's lots of different...
people, departments.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that's right.
So this first one here, what's his name? David Grish? Grish, 2009.
Yep.
He was on a humanitarian mission in Indonesia. Now, do you know much of this story?
To be honest, I don't know all of the details.
Okay.
I've just seen
his story
little
specific,
snippets similar to what you just played
Yeah.
before the intro.
Yeah.
And other little snippets. I haven't actually watched a lot of the
Okay.
Congress stuff and all
I
that
would
stuff.
definitely recommend if anyone's watching at home, for you, Double D, to check it out. There's a very good podcast. Got me really enthralled into it, and he's done a 3-parter, interviewed all 3 Marines.
Nice.
Because he's not coming out alone. He was like, guys, you got to get more people to come out and talk with me and tell the truth here because he's sick of tired of it. I guess the main gist of this one is a bit UFO aliens, but also mixed in with human trafficking.
Okay.
It's really, it's quite unique, and which is maybe a bit too much to, and that's the thing, like, do we believe these guys? Like, they're Marines and shit, so I guess they're pretty up there.
And they would have seen some shit.
Yeah, that's right.
And been through some shit.
Exactly right.
Yeah,
so
that the average person doesn't.
Yeah, I suppose. So anyway, they're on a humanitarian mission in Indonesia, a massive tidal wave, earthquake sort of stuff that happened there. The Marines get called to, help out and, clean up the areas, bring cargo, bring food supplies, all that sort of stuff,
all the humanitarian aid stuff,
Yeah, so he's on he's got a group, about 5 or 6 of them.
Right.
And they're around the landing zone where they're bringing in helicopters, dropping
the
all
LZ?
crates. Yeah, the LZ, right?
Yeah.
And their group goes on a little, they have to go a couple Ks away, heading to some high ground so they can just keep an eye on stuff and have a look around. And while they're up there...
Sniper shit is what
I'm
picturing.
Well, yeah, maybe, but I don't think they had snipers and stuff.
No.
Just surveying the land, I guess.
Too many American movies.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Sorry, continue.
That's all right. And so as they're on the high ground, they overlook the other side of the high ground, I guess, from the LZ. Yeah. So they're up here, they're looking down there, blah, blah, blah. And they've noticed they can see something quite strange. And it's like this big oblong, UFO kind of shape looking thing.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Shiny, see-through-ish in a way. They're like, what the fuck? From where they could see, a couple of Ks away. They're like, what the fuck's down there? And they see a lot of traffic around it as well.
Yeah.
So they start, let's go check this out. And by the way, and the story behind it is that there's no comms apparently. So all these guys, a humanitarian mission, apparently for some weird...
helicopters coming in and out.
And this is the theory where I was like, why are they putting all these Marines down there to do a humanitarian mission and there's no comms? There's no radios. No one's got a fucking radio on them, which is a bit weird and strange in itself, okay? So that's...
Well, I don't know how military operations run. I've never been in the military. I know some people that have been, but I would imagine that if the shit is going down, like somewhere, like whether it is this humanitarian aid or not, you still have to get in there and help, 100%. And you still got to get in there and do what you've got to do. Yeah. And I would imagine that there would be a protocol in place for, if you don't have direct comms, like because we've got a lot of technology, if that goes down, I'm sure there's some old school shit that they still get taught for surviving. So that's not out of my realm of being weird.
Okay. All right. Yeah. And okay.
So continue. So I blew that one out of the water. Let's go next
cool.
thing.
I love it. So they've gone for a trek down the hill towards this thing. The closer they get, and they're noticing a lot more traffic, cars, vehicles, big SUV sort of stuff coming in.
So the locals have noticed it, or
no? They're walking down towards it. They're trying to figure out what the fuck's this. But as they're walking, they're seeing a lot of cars and shit driving up and all that sort of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's other human beings driving up to it.
Big, like just SUVs, big sort of Humvee sort of things coming up to it.
Probably more military style vehicles.
Yes, right, but not associated with their crew.
With US,
right, because their crew's over here. And what the fuck's going on here? And from this guy's account, he's seen this big circle-shaped thing.
Yeah,
it is elevated off the ground.
Right,
and there's also another big sort of like a slab from his description, like a big slab. That's sort of, attached to the bottom.
A sacrificial altar.
Sure.
Okay.
Yep. In the same sort of, made of the same stuff as the big UFO, right?
Yeah.
And he noticed that these what's it called? SUVs, Humvees, sort of trucks. They're driving up on this slab, dropping some shit off, and then driving off. So as they're getting closer and closer, they're like, okay, this is really strange. What is going on here? Bang, straight away, they get surrounded by multiple, army kind of guys. They're Americans as well, but not army-issued, uniforms. They're all wearing black and...
Mibs.
Yeah, black, different kind of weapons and all this sort of stuff.
From it, all of a sudden we were engaged, at least not in a hostile manner, at least, not gunfire or firefight or anything like that. But the way that these guys moved was so fluid, it was so still, it was very, very, very smooth. And the gear that they had was black OTV vests, they had black camouflage utilities.
What you're saying is there would have been no they were professionals.
Yeah, and that's,
freeze motherfuckers, get down, drop all your weapons. No, they weren't. Okay. They weren't the men in black. US, they were described as US accents and all that. Sure. Get down, freeze, we fucking shoot you, blah, blah, blah. Lower your weapons. They dropped all their weapons and they had them lined up. They took all their equipment off them.
They started yelling at us. You're not supposed to fucking be here. What the fuck are you guys doing here? Who the fuck are you with? At one point, they said they were going to smoke us. They could throw us out of a helicopter. It's very easy to get lost in the jungle out here. They kept saying stuff like that. They're having two guys watch while there's a guy basically taking our magazines out of our vest. They actually knew where our military IDs were because in Marine Corps order, you have to have them in your left breast pocket. So as they're searching us, we're watching this thing happen. And that's when we started seeing trucks come from our left and go onto this platform. And they were up armored 350s. I know exactly what 350s are.
Dropped into the ground, constantly having guns pointed at them the whole time. This guy's basically description is he was like, okay, well, what the fuck is going on here? And while he's getting harassed and told to drop his weapons, he's still watching all the shit going on, right?
Yeah.
He's probably at this stage maybe not super close, but enough to see.
It'd be a
pretty good
meters,
description.
I would imagine. Now, if they were only a couple of Ks away.
Yeah. And from his description, what he thought was happening, they were dropping off like big, let's say a coffin or a big sort of
that kind of size box, a crate.
Yeah, for a human body to be in. Right. And it was getting dropped on this ledge thing underneath the UFO.
Right.
Had weapon cases in the back of each truck bed. And then they had a shipping container thing. I mean, it looked like a shipping container, but smaller and half the size. For years, I thought, okay, there's got to be oxygen supply or like a vacuum sealing thing that you would, because obviously I'm thinking it's drugs. I was like, okay, so this is a very advanced way to do that. Just years of thinking of this. Come to find out, when I gave my speech in D.C. on that Saturday for the Disclosure Project with Dr. Greer, this gentleman, I'm not going to give any detail. I know a little bit about him. He's aware of what was going on. He confirmed, he says, no, he's like, I don't want to leave Michael hanging out there, but I was not expecting to come and talk to you about this. And he says, there's not drugs that they're putting in these shipping containers. He says it's humans.
Right, okay.
And then suddenly, by the end of it, right, he was keeping an eye on it, blah, blah, blah. this thing, lifted into the UFO, and then it was the fastest thing he's ever seen. It hovered up and went flying. See you later. Boom, gone. Right? Now, these guys have eventually released them. Told them to never say anything. If you look back, I'm going to shoot you. You're dead, blah, blah, blah. They've gone back up the hill, ran as fast as they can back to their LZ.
Yeah.
And their commander or whatever fucking ripped into them. Where the fuck have you guys been? Blah, 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 blah. They all just didn't say shit. They all went in, undressed, blah, 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 got rid of their equipment. And I do believe, actually, from the account, he actually had a camera on him, right? This is the interesting part. He had a camera and managed to take a few shots, photos of the thing.
Yeah.
But I think that was before he got, dropped all his weapons, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Had his camera on him. They didn't take his camera for some reason, which is interesting. Must have been like in a pocket. I don't know.
Yeah.
Now, he said in his thing, when he got back to base, he put his camera up along with his vest and all that sort of shit, went off. But when he came back, his camera was empty. It was there, but the cartridge and all that sort of stuff was emptied.
Yeah, okay.
Which is really, come on. That's the conspiracy theory side of you. Full of shit, or
Or has
do you
someone
believe
gone in
him?
there to...
Exactly, right? So at the end of the day, he said he's taken photos, but he still hasn't got the actual proof, which is convenient, pretty shit at the same time.
But if you were trying to cover something up, you'd want to make sure all the evidence was gone.
100%.
Which is why you would just kill those guys, wouldn't you?
Well, that's it. What's better, to let them run away with a story in their head that, people just think this guy's crazy, he's full of shit, or would you kill them and then a massive search party goes for them, potentially discovers more than they shouldn't? I don't know. What's the best way to go about that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm no statistician.
Yeah.
Statistician?
I suppose they could have killed them and
person that works out stuff. So...
But interesting.
They are evidence themselves, though, aren't they? And clearly...
Yeah, but it's just taking their
now.
word of what, seeing a UFO and all that crap, and they're like, oh, they won't believe them anyway. You know what I mean?
But the thing is, generally, if you're at that level in the military, that you're not the kind of people that just make
shit.
I'm not saying you're 100% honest and you don't lie, but to sit down with 4 other people who I'm assuming have got the exact same story.
Yeah.
And say, hey guys,
he wants them to come
make
out.
up this UFO story because we just went off into the bushes and smoked weed for an hour.
Right?
Like why would you do that? And now you're at the US Congress. And then they're going, come on, Billy, let's just give it up, man. No, they're never going to know we smoked weed.
Yeah. So he's, at the end of all that, he's come up with this sort of, I guess his story has ended up coming a part of human trafficking, which I mentioned on earlier.
Sure.
And the best way to traffic humans is to go into third world countries, and especially after disasters, where there's just shit, rubble, fucking bodies everywhere.
You don't know who's alive, who's dead.
100%. And there's some people over there struggling. Fuck, grab them, put them in the box, chuck. But then, that's the easiest part of human trafficking. Yeah, exactly. Human trafficking is fucking huge at the moment. You've seen this movie. It's the number one trade behind drugs now.
Yeah,
which is terrible.
I get that.
It's fucking shocking, really, and it happens mostly in third world countries. So Indonesia being a third world country, and the fact that a massive fucking tidal wave has come in.
A lot of Europe,
probably super easy to grab some people. Quick, we'll help you, fix you up. Jump in this box, bang, And so anyway, they reckon they witnessed this human trafficking, but with a fucking machine which possibly has been reverse engineered, or a natural UFO.
Yeah, so
it's that's the story on this guy.
But going back to the human trafficking side of it, so human trafficking is done for profit.
Yeah.
Oh, that's it, pure and simple. It's like drugs is done for profit, pure and simple.
Yeah,
that's it. It's a business.
Yeah,
right. So either the US government they've reverse engineered, and they've got their own UFOs, right? So they've got this technology, and then so that's the government.
Yep.
Not a drug cartel. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but like I said before, is it the government or a different department of the government, like the main, what kind of...
So you're assuming that it is some...
Or like I said, $1 billion company, which is not government at all. It's like, you know,
So then you're
a real
thinking-
tech giant company,
Yeah.
billions of dollars, have managed to get
Tesla.
their hands on a fucking crashed UFO, reverse the,
Engineered it.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a possibility for that too, but then you've also got to think that them taking humans wouldn't be for the same purpose as human trafficking in general. It would be more for, I would imagine, experimentation, would it not? Or do you think it's more of like a...
For extraterrestrials experimentation, do you mean?
Well, yeah, okay. No. No, I'm working on the assumption that
Humans.
obviously humans are involved trafficking humans. And that the technology has come from
Yes. Yeah.
aliens, or we've just got some smart motherfuckers out there that have come up with some shit we don't know anything about, right? So so then why are they going to need humans? Is it just for experimentation, or is it for their own private rich person Squid Game?
That's what I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rich people, lots of money, want that young
But then
boys, young girls, all that sort of shit.
Oh, okay, yeah, right, yeah. But there'd only be so many of those. You know what I mean? Like that's a hell of a risk to run to have.
Or use them as slaves, use them as fucking super soldiers, treat them, like.
Yeah, but then that's more experimentation as well.
Yeah, that's right, experimentation, which goes.
Slavery too.
Yeah.
Could be a thing, but then.
Yeah. That was his assumption by the end of it, right? Which is very interesting. First-hand, sight of seeing something like that.
And the other interesting thing too is that people in the past, now we don't know if it's true or not, right? So we've got to still operate under the assumption that it's a maybe.
Yep.
But other people in the past in history have had stories of seeing ships and being abducted themselves. And first person counts. And people that have had it aren't just, crackpots or but then they become that. You know what I mean? They're either no one believes them, or
and they haven't got
there's a smear campaign run on them, or whatever. You know what I mean? But
they haven't got a title of ex-Marine on them either.
Well, no,
they're
that's
just
true.
Joe Blow from Texas, in living in a farm.
But then, if something like this is legit, then do we not have to look back at history, at these people in the past that have been?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
And then would it add more weight to their stories?
Yeah, it probably would. Yep. Because we don't know how truthful those, but we just think they're fucking crackpots and they just had a bad dream or had some bad drugs.
Gone out and
of course
got super wasted.
But it holds no weight because they're just a general Joe Blow. Yeah. Right?
I know someone that has seen a UFO.
A Marine. Well, I think I have.
Yeah, that's right. You're who I'm talking
but I'm a
about.
general Joe Blow, and I could be a fucking weirdo and on drugs and shit as well. Like, no one knows.
Well, yeah. I mean, I know you.
Yeah, you know me.
I know you're a weirdo, but
that's
not,
right.
You're not on drugs or anything like that.
Yeah, that's right. And I was 13, 14 at the time.
Yeah.
And I always ever remember it. Like, it's just something that's always stayed in my head. And it was a wicked experience. But was it a UFO? I believe it was.
And I've just got to clarify, we're all weirdos.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
So,
we're weirdos in different ways.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't worry, you didn't offend me.
But this is massive. Like,
so that
this
was
is huge.
Yeah, and that was the original whistleblower out of the three of them.
Yeah.
And just to quickly touch on the second whistleblower, another Marine.
Yep.
Worked in the his dad actually was in the construction. He's in construction, so he's got a base, one of the Air Force bases or whatever.
So just let me clarify: this Marine was not part of the other crew.
No,
Indonesia.
so this is a different story.
So
Another whistleblower coming out because now that this guy sort of opened the door, he's hoping that other people in that industry are going to come out as well. Yeah.
Yeah, and so this is
and not be scared. Yeah. So another guy come out and had this wicked podcast interview. Check it out. I'll put the link of the podcast for these both interviews in the description. He's coming out now because he feels way more comfortable that other Marines or people higher up in that.
Sure. And what was
coming
his story?
out. His is somewhat probably not as exciting as that, I don't think. But he went to a base to help construct or fix up a shoot house for some base that they had. It was a base, I can't remember the name of the base. I probably should have written it down. And he was with his dad, who's into construction, and they've got a big warehouse and whatnot, and they help, bases construct shit, okay, in a general way of doing. You probably have fucking plumbers, and they probably have all that shit in the Marines. You know what I mean?
All the engineers. Yeah, they've got everything.
So they went to a base to help construct or fix up a shoot house.
Yeah. And
it's got multiple levels on it, and they've gone into this one level. And straight out of the elevator, they witnessed, or he on his account, he looks over to the left and there's a big fucking hovering, once again, I guess, UFO.
What are they calling
in the
them
warehouse.
now? They're not calling them UFOs.
Yeah, they're calling them unidentified phenomenon aircraft, UPAs or some shit like that.
Okay.
Something like that.
We'll just call them UFOs.
Yeah, sure. That's easier. Everyone knows what that.
Yeah.
He's looked over, and this is in a big warehouse, and he's looked over and this thing's just hovering. And also next to it is like two sphere ball things hovering next to it as well.
Was it a long, smooth shaft and two balls?
It was all shiny and shit, but it wasn't.
Wow.
It wasn't that.
I wasn't. No, right.
Yeah, so
it wasn't Austin Powers, bloody whatever, Dr. Evil's spaceship.
Yeah, no, it
okay.
wasn't. But so the guy that was sort of like, come with me, come this way, was like, keep your fucking eyes straight, do not look anywhere else, sort of thing,
Oh
telling
yeah,
them.
I'm gonna do that.
Yeah,
you told
right.
me not to.
And so I think he said in the podcast, he sort of pretended out to fix his laces or something.
Yeah.
So he went down to fix his lace. So he's sort of, having a little.
My
look.
eyes would be like.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So they went into the elevator, went down to the shoot house, which is underneath apparently. We're down there for like 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes, not long at all.
Yeah.
Did their measurements, blah, blah, blah. Went back up to that level and everything's gone.
Right.
Everything's just gone, disappeared, nothing. The whole warehouse is fucking empty. He's like, okay, well, this is fucking strange. So he recognised, so this guy that's, walked him through, he's got a good memory of him.
Yeah.
And another guy that was sitting at the desk when they first went into this warehouse had like a statutory declaration. Can you please sign this?
Yeah.
Anything you see here, you're not allowed to talk about, blah, blah, blah.
That's it.
They
Keep
sort
your
of
mouth
laughed.
shut.
They sort of laughed at it and just scoffed it. I said, yeah, right, come on, man. So, which is interesting itself. So I don't think he signed it with his dad because they were there to do the work. And so it only happened, I think, a few more years later. Apparently he was on a... Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I'm going to say apparently because it's his story, right? And, we like to think it's the truth, but we don't know. He was on a mission. Maybe it was only a year later. Actually, it was only a year later. He was on a mission where he was parachuting out of a plane.
Right. Well, that's good.
Yeah. So it's all good. Nothing strange has happened. And he was first in line because how, if you're in an aircraft, that you have all your crew, your platoon crew, jump out of a plane. The guy's there, 3, 2, 1. All right, you go. And as this guy's counting down, he's one of the first, right? And he's got his usual crew with him. This is his story, right? And he says, just about 5 seconds before I was about to jump out, a new face from the crew came up to the front.
I have heard this, and then he
have you
got tangled in his rope or something.
Yeah, have you heard this
it was
one?
An assassination attempt.
Have you heard this one? Okay,
Yeah.
cool. How'd you hear this one? Just from one of the clips.
I think it was, just
cool.
one of the clips, yeah.
Yeah, and just as about to jump, he gets this big whack across the back of the head, and then he sort of wakes up because I think the chute pulls when you jump out, right? It's one of those hooked on. Yeah. So and then he wakes up, in hospital or some shit.
Right.
But he remembers seeing that guy.
Yeah.
He recognized him coming up. So he reckons it was an assassination attempt on him.
So the bloke jumping out of the plane is the same guy that a few years previous had seen some shit
in the warehouse. That's right. But the guy, and he reckons the guy that apparently came up around his crew that's usually he jumps with was the guy that got him to try and sign this declaration thing.
Okay.
So he tried to get off the parent. So this is his story,
Do the paperwork or we'll come after you.
100%.
Wow.
And ever since then, I think that crippled his career because he hit the floor pretty badly, fucked his back, neck, whatever it was up. And that ended his career in the Marines and in the Army. And apparently to this day, he still gets weird shit flying over his house and all this sort of crap. But it's another story from a Marine who I think is a part of this whole whistleblower Congress thing.
Right. It's just another nail.
Yeah.
Yeah, rightio. It's all very interesting.
It is very.
It is, absolutely.
It is.
Yeah.
I think the sad part of that story was that was the last time. He was super close with his dad, super close.
Yeah.
And when he went to visit his dad after that day when they saw the UFO in there,
Yeah.
his dad basically said to him, fuck off, I never want to talk. Don't ever bring that shit up again.
Yeah, rightio.
Don't ever bring it up.
Yeah.
And that was like, he was super closed off to him.
Yeah,
And
rightio.
apparently they were super close,
Yeah,
all
okay.
these years.
Weird.
And then I think the years went by, I think 10 years or something went by, never spoke to his dad because he just went super cold on him.
Yeah.
And the last time he saw him was on his deathbed, dying from cancer.
Yeah.
And it was really sad how he said it. He was like, I think he whispered to his dad, Dad, I still love you, or something like that. And then a tear rolls down his face and he fucking died right there. And it was like this massive 10-year gap of him just ice cold relationship with him after that event. So he's thinking, why the fuck did that happen? Like, what could they have told him that made him do that to his own son, when they were so close?
That's crazy.
So that was a big part of the story as well, right? Like him and his dad experiencing that and being super ice cold. But yeah, really interesting, man. You got to listen to the podcast. I found them super, super interesting. A third one did come out, but to be honest, I can't actually remember that at the moment. So
Yeah.
yeah, Whistleblowers.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I think it's even crazy is probably not the right word. But it's just interesting that it's being made to look as though it's being taken seriously.
Yeah, that's the crazy part of it, I think.
Yeah.
How many stories I've heard, on a similar line of this sort of shit that I've just said, that don't ever get taken that seriously to go to Congress and stuff.
That's exactly right.
It's really cool, and I feel like the government and the US government are moving along in this direction, especially UFOs and unreleasing footage, highly classified stuff relating to UFOs, and I think there's a step towards telling the truth.
Exactly what I'm thinking, or their version of the truth. So the conspiracy behind the conspiracy is that they're deliberately having these whistleblowers come out.
Oh,
and that they're deliberately releasing
there you go
information through other they can't be seen to be doing it themselves for whatever reason right now.
Good point.
And maybe it's a bit of a
conspiracy in the conspiracy.
The US government started coming out with alien movies, and the aliens look like the aliens. The little green fellow or the grey men or the whatever. There's a few of those movies. Obviously, we've got like Alien and Predator and stuff. I'm assuming they're not warming us up to that idea. But I mean, like E.T. and kind of more of a friendlier 100%, sort of a vibe towards, and a lot of UFO stuff, and with Independence Day, and all that sort of stuff. Is that also part of the conspiracy to slowly release? Like maybe they've got a 50 or 100-year plan to have human beings through each generation. Be exposed more and more to the idea of obviously other races on other planets that are going to come and visit us, or they're already here now, but obviously just not in the general. But then is this, the whistleblowers coming out
this is
and
huge,
making it all official? Is that a step towards that 50-year plan of going, well, actually, you got us.
Yeah, you got us.
Yeah,
we've always had them here.
That's right.
Yeah, and it's it won't be such a shock at the end when we go.
No.
And everyone's like, well, shit. You've been lied to. We already know that. We know you've got them and had
info.
So
what's the next step? So what do you think the next step? So we've got these whistleblowers that come out and say this. And then if you were to want to slowly release information to the general public, what would your next thing be?
The next step would be someone bigger than just a Marine in the army.
Okay.
Someone bigger with a bigger name, really, really well respected.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I mean, there are some famous actors that fully believe in this shit. Alec Baldwin is one. Not really massive name, and a bit crazy possibly. James Belushi? No, not James Belushi. Someone else.
He would have seen lots of stuff, but mainly through drugs.
Yeah, that's right. So you need someone who's respected a lot to come out and really open the door for that shit.
I was kind of thinking more along the lines of, would there be like a mass population event?
Yeah, that's the one as well. That's what would open it.
Yeah, like,
and there
like a flyover
100%.
Of somewhere and there's just so much footage and everything, like it just can't be denied from so
can't
many
be
different
denied.
angles.
100%. And the biggest one that I think, have you seen the Arizona lights? 1996, 98?
No.
Arizona. Oh, you haven't seen them? Okay. I'll get us some footage
I've seen
on
End
the
of
edit.
Days.
13th, 1997, people across Arizona, especially here in the valley, reported seeing a silent, miles-long V-shaped group of lights gliding quietly overhead. Was it a military mission, a prank perhaps, or visitors from outer space? The questions and confusion over the sighting have only grown during the prevailing years.
Now, of course, we're much more open to it recently as being real. And the Phoenix Lights is one of the premier mass sightings that they're looking at as being authentic, because thousands of people saw these massive craft or objects hover right over them, glide right over them, rooftop level. Some people said they could have thrown a stone at it. It was that close.
No, not End of Days.
The Arizona Lights was a real big encounter in Arizona over the city.
Yep.
Lots of people filmed it,
Yep.
witnessed it, and it was like, all the dots, and it was sort of like a diamond or like a triangle shape. You haven't seen that one? Okay. That's one of the biggest ones that, a lot of people witnessed.
Yeah, but I mean, like, that's still, I don't
At
know.
night time, you can't see much. Just lights. Could be lanterns, could be flares.
Yeah. And it's kind of like that because there's been other things before where there's been, and we have had more and more sort of sightings, but is it space junk? Is it?
Yeah, that's right.
Like, what is it? But I mean, I'm talking about like that.
Pure.
Like.
Undeniable video footage. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah, here's Central Park in New York.
Daytime, everyone
here,
sees it.
Around day,
100%.
night, doesn't matter. Like, it's just...
And there never has been
It's
lights.
not just flashing lights, and it's not just, in this day and age, a blurry, long-distance shot.
I know.
Like,
I know.
we've
and
all
that's
got
what it is
amazing-
all the fucking time. A blurry shot from someone who has fucking Parkinson's or something trying to film the shit. It's like, come on, hold that shit steady. If I had a camera at 14 years old walking my dog, damn it, I would have taken the best video shot ever.
That's
and
right,
I would have had proof for days, and then maybe I wouldn't even be here anymore,
Yeah.
But
now it seems to be shot because they only went to a wedding and they had one of those
oh my
wind-on
God.
cameras.
It just pisses me off.
They had to get the film developed, and it got overdeveloped and
Proof is key.
So you reckon? Do you think that would be the next step, or is that a step too far?
That's revealing everything. I think the slow burn is having someone other than I think this is pretty big. A
So
marine.
more people come out, and more people come out, and more people come out. Okay.
This is the first step of
and then what?
Pretty important people, and then the big reveal obviously is having a mass reveal of a big,
Something.
visit.
Yeah.
With thousands of people seeing it.
So
'cause you can't hide that.
So beyond that, then, of a visit, or whether it's just a ship's landing or a flyby or whatever, without any actual alien contact yet, why would they be doing this? I mean, it's great. We want to know. We want it out there.
Why would who be doing that? Sorry.
Well, whoever's keeping aliens a secret, why would they want to, if they've spent so long keeping everything locked down, why would they want, why now are they allowing it? Because they're allowing these people to talk. Why are they now allowing it? In my mind, what's coming?
True, yeah.
What's going to happen? Like, why are they clearly allowing these people to talk? And then why would they potentially in the future be releasing the idea of us, the human race, being the general population?
And why have they
being
kept it a
exposed to?
secret all this time?
Yeah, and then why now is it
Is it
coming
religious
out?
reasons? God created us, world, blah blah blah. We're the only ones in the universe, and will the 40 to 50% of the population in this whole? Oh, hang on, how many people are really religious and believe in God?
Yeah, but there's so many different religions. And
That's
stuff.
right.
But I mean,
will they all go
yes.
crazy if they know that there's another civilization out there?
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's a thing.
100%. That's one of the main reasons I believe.
Also, a lot of religions were developed, in my thought, and very generalization comment here, is that they were originally designed to help control people for the greater good, because you know, like
set some rules, set some boundaries,
some rules in place. Like there's a lot of sexually transmitted diseases. All right, you know, you don't have sex until you get married. Yeah, you know, or we are dying because we're eating a lot of pork that is infected.
Okay,
so then a lot of humans are dying because of that, or you know, the pigs are seen to be that. So so we don't have pork. In part of our religion is we don't eat pork.
Yes,
you know what I mean. Like the basis of it is for the benefit of humans, and to, you know, without coming out and saying if you have sex with lots of people, you will contract these diseases and die, because people just go, yeah, but I have a good time.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, whereas if you say, no, these are the rules, and if you don't follow the rules, then... But and is that time over, do you think? Is the time of controlling people through religion... Yeah,
you're right.
Maybe
that
over?
Time is becoming over because of technology, internet, the way we find out truths, especially the last 20 years, obviously, with the internet and Google, and looking shit up yourself and not just believing what the mainstream media, which we've talked about, tells us. And that's, I think people are just becoming more intrigued in finding out for themselves and just not believing in what they get told. That's where it's coming from.
So maybe religion's not really a concerning factor.
Like 100 years ago,
within revealing aliens.
Yeah, man.
You know.
Oh, maybe not. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, maybe it's not a contributing factor anymore, and that's another roadblock that's gone.
No, very good, very good. Yeah. I love chatting about this stuff. Like, it really intrigues me.
So what are you going to do for your alien coming out party? Oh, it's a chat for another day.
I'm going to go and have a party on top of a massive skyscraper and go, yay, welcome home.
And then shoot your guns at them. Oh, shit. They should make a movie with that.
Also, that's a big thing. Like, coming out or seeing a massive event of a ship, would that just cause mass hysteria with the public? Looting, fuck this, we're dead, we're all fucked. Oh my God, they're here to kill us all.
Well, yeah, I think if they, you know, it's like going into the park and a flasher just flashes it. You know, it's a shock.
Is it similar to that? Is it? Or?
Yeah, but right now, what they're doing is they're lubing us up. The idea, they're warming it up. Yeah,
well, this is a bit of lube. Okay.
Yeah, the guy's sitting on the park bench next to you. He's having a bit of a chat. You know, he's got his buttoned up. He's just pops a button. You know what I mean?
Like next button. Yeah, next button.
He's just easing you into it. So by the time that flash actually comes, you're not that surprised. You kind of knew it was coming. You could see what was going on.
Yeah.
Whether you wanted it to happen or not's another thing.
That's okay. Yeah.
But that wasn't your consideration to be taken into the whole flashing event.
Oh no, it wasn't.
Yeah.
But that's a good analogy.
Yeah, an alien ship just flying over and just going, "Hey everyone, how you going?"
Yeah.
And then everyone I think would freak the fuck out.
Yes. Yeah.
But whereas if they just slowly
do it, slowly warm us up, which they are doing. They're definitely doing that.
Yeah. God.
With the release of footage from Pentagon and all that shit, like the jets releasing fucking all that footage of the little balls flying so fast and unidentified flying objects.
Yeah, man.
That's what they are.
Can we put that technology into motorbikes? That's what I want to know.
Eventually you will, man. Fucking oath. You'll all be flying up there, man, into space.
Sweet. Just
hovering, doing whatever.
That would be pretty good.
Yeah. All right.
It's going to be chaos, but, you know.
Thanks for joining us on this whistleblower episode.
Well, it blew my whistle. It blew my whistle indeed. Yeah, my whistle got blown.
Okay, that's good. I love that shit. God damn. Check out the podcast, guys. I can't even remember. I think it's Sean Ryan or something like that. I'll put links down below. Really cool. Yeah. I'm sure many people have talked about this already on the internet, but if not, check it out. I'm just going to... Sean Ryan Show. There you go, guys.
Sean Ryan Show. I'm going to check that shit out.
It's really, really interesting. And he does... Look at that straight away. There's an owner of the mysterious Skinwalker Ranch reveals UAP. Like, he does wicked shit that, you know, if you like all these sort of topics, then check it out.
Awesome.
Till next time.
Yeah, unless the aliens stop us. Oh gosh. Oh my goodness. Yeah, there you go. The aliens maybe already have taken over. Whatever.
That's right.
That's just one of the things that life throws at us. Take it easy.
See you, mate.